old people are blocking road again. Mama, are you walking or counting ants? Must you always disturb young people early in the morning?
My daughter, the road is wide enough for patience.
Patience? Mama, keep your village proverbs. If you don't know how to walk fast.
That morning in Umuagu village did not wake up gently. The sun rose like it was angry with everyone, roasting zinc roofs and waking chickens before their dreams finished. Mama Izine, the oldest woman in the village, shuffled slowly toward the market with her wooden staff tapping the ground, tock, 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 as if she was knocking on the door of the earth itself. Her wrapper was neatly tied, her headscarf proud, and her basket carried only garden vegetables and dignity. People greeted her with respect. Mama, good morning. Mama, you have woken early. She answered all with smiles that carried stories older than the Iroko tree. At the other end of the road came Sandra, young, sharp-tongued, loud like a broken radio. She walked as if the ground owed her money, chewing gum aggressively and talking to her phone. These old people are blocking road again, she complained loudly, rolling her eyes. When Mama Izine crossed her path slowly, Sandra hissed. Hiss! Mama, are you walking or counting ants? Must you always disturb young people early in the morning? The market went quiet. Even flies paused mid-air. Mama Izine stopped, turned slowly and looked at her, not with anger, but with calm that made people uncomfortable. Mama Izine opened her mouth gently. My daughter, she said, the road is wide enough for patience. But Sandra laughed, a sharp, ugly laugh that bounced off tomato baskets. Patience. Mama, keep your village proverbs. If you don't know how to walk fast, stay inside your hut. People gasped. A woman dropped her pepper tray. A man coughed just to break the silence. This was not correction. This was humiliation, served hot. Mama Izine's lips trembled, not from fear, but from shock. I trained your mother, she said softly. I carried you on my back once. Sandra scoffed. Then you should have dropped me and saved us all. Laughter erupted from Sandra's friends, but it was the nervous type, like laughter that knew it was standing near trouble. Mama Izine adjusted her basket, nodded once and said quietly, the ground you stand on listens. May it answer you today. She walked away. The market breathed again, but something had shifted. News in Umuagu traveled faster than motorcycle with no brakes. Before noon, everyone knew Sandra had insulted Mama Izine. At the palm wine joint, men shook their heads. This girl has no brakes in her mouth. Women at the river whispered. Did she forget Mama Izine buried half this village? Children repeated the insult with dramatic exaggeration until their mother slapped sense into them. Sandra, however, felt untouchable. She strutted through the village like a victorious cock. Old woman or no old woman, nobody owns the road, she bragged. Her friends hyped her up. You finished her, one said. Sandra laughed. She will go and cry to her ancestors. But somewhere deep inside her chest, something felt itchy, like fear trying to knock politely before breaking the door. That afternoon, the sky changed its mind. Clouds gathered suddenly like gossiping aunties. Wind blew wrappers off lines. Chickens ran without direction. Mama Izine sat in her hut, grinding ogbono slowly, murmuring words nobody could hear clearly. Her staff leaned against the wall, vibrating softly, as if remembering battles. Sandra, meanwhile, was preparing for a small party. Music blasted. She danced, mocking old people, bending her back dramatically. See how Mama walks, she laughed, hunching over. Her friends laughed until the ground shook. Then the music cut off suddenly. Generator died. Phone screens went blank. The wind blew her wig clean off her head and dropped it inside a pot of egusi soup. Silence followed. Someone whispered, Jesus. Sandra bent to pick her wig, but her legs refused to obey. Ah, wait, my leg, she stammered, wobbling like wet garri. She fell, kappa, straight into the dust. People screamed. Some laughed nervously. Others ran. Sandra tried to stand again, but spun in circles like a confused goat. My body is turning, she shouted. Suddenly, her voice cracked and came out like Mama Izine's, old, shaky, and slow. What is happening to me? She cried, but it sounded like an old woman begging for patience. The crowd scattered. One man shouted, This is above us. Another screamed, Call the elders. By evening, Sandra could barely walk. Her back bent, her knees shook, and her tongue refused to say sharp insults. Anytime she tried, her mouth spat proverbs instead. A child who mocks the river, she began, then screamed in frustration. No, I don't want this. The elders gathered. The chief wiped sweat from his forehead. We warned these children, he sighed. Mama Izine did not come. Her hut remained quiet. Thunder rumbled like laughter from the sky. Even the boldest villagers avoided Sandra, who now cried like a baby trapped inside an old body. Despite the fear, comedy refused to leave Umuagu. Sandra tried to run. She shuffled. She tried to insult. She preached wisdom. A goat followed her, bleating mockingly. Children sang songs behind her. Old woman with young face, they chanted before scattering. At one point, Sandra attempted to sit down quickly and missed the bench entirely. She landed inside a basin of soaked cassava. People gasped, then laughed uncontrollably. Even in fear, the village found humor. But Sandra was no longer laughing. She crawled toward Mama Izine's hut that night, crying, begging, dragging shame behind her like a broken wrapper. Mama Izine's hut stood silent. Sandra knocked weakly. Mama, please. No answer. She knocked again. I am sorry. My mouth was hungry for nonsense. Still nothing. Rain began to fall. Slow, cold, judgmental rain. Finally, the door opened. Mama Izine stood there, tall, calm, eyes sharp. Why are you crawling? She asked. Sandra wept. Because pride broke my legs. The old woman stared for a long time, then turned and walked inside. Enter. Apology is not shouted, it is proven. Inside the hut, Mama Izine spoke without raising her voice. You humiliated me because you thought age was weakness, she said. But age is a library. You mocked wisdom and invited ignorance to beat you. Sandra sobbed. Forgive me. I beg you. I will greet old people. I will sweep their compounds. The old woman laughed softly. You will do more than that. She handed Sandra her staff. It felt heavier than a bag of cement. Carry this tomorrow. Walk the village. Let everyone see humility wearing pride's clothes. The next morning, Sandra walked through Umuagu bent, carrying Mama Izine's staff. People stared. Some laughed. Some pitied her. She greeted everyone respectfully. Good morning, Mama. Good morning, Papa. Her voice was normal again, but her pride was gone. At the market, Mama Izine arrived later, walking strong. When she saw her, Sandra knelt immediately. I insulted wisdom, she said loudly. Forgive me. The village went silent. Mama Izine raised her. Stand. Let this be the last child that confuses noise for strength. Just as Mama Izine spoke, the staff Sandra had carried cracked in two, loud like gunshot. Thunder roared once and stopped. Sandra straightened fully. Her strength returned. The sky cleared immediately. People screamed. Some fell. Others shouted praises. We have seen. We have learnt. The chief removed his cap. From today, he declared, anyone who insults age insults the village. Days later, Umuagu laughed again. But now, laughter had breaks. Sandra became the politest girl in the village, almost too polite. People teased her. Mama Sandra, they called. She laughed and bowed. Mama Izine returned to her quiet life, but her name carried new weight. Children greeted her louder. Even stubborn goats moved out of her way. Sandra's tongue, once wild, became careful. She corrected other youths gently. Words can push spirits, she warned. Some listened, some laughed, until she shared her story. Then silence followed. Comedy still lived in Umuagu, but it lent respect. Years later, elders still told the story by moonlight. They would say, there was a girl who insulted an old woman and aged in one afternoon. Children listened wide-eyed, laughing and fearing at the same time. Mama Izine became legend. Sandra never forgot the day pride embarrassed her publicly. She married, had children, and taught them one thing first. Respect is cheaper than consequences. And in Umuago village, nobody ever again said old people were slow because they knew. Some steps are slow because they are heavy with power.
I hope una enjoy this story. Abeg make una subscribe for more stories on Tales by MSK.